Alright, I turned off the Windows, like, background slideshow. Hopefully that'll make recording a little bit more smooth, because my computer literally cannot handle changing the background and recording at the same time, apparently. Um, enough of me complaining. Is there anything down here? I guess that qualifies as down here. That's cake mix. And how many floors are there? Were there like 6 floors in this building, weren't there? I think. I'm not going there quite yet. Yeah, it's treasure. Speaking of treasure, there's one more on this floor. Um, I am okay. That is, I thought that was a chest, and there was a sparkling spot in the ground, which would have not made much sense because, you have no idea how annoying it is to not be able to run away from battles. For what it's worth, the thing that I thought was the treasure chest was this, like, dancing candelabra on that table. Anyway, it is time for the next painting, it would seem. So what's... Oh, come on! Is every floor I stop on going to throw me into a random encounter right before the picture?
You do
Yoko!
take your time. You have read your father's words, I trust? Very
Yeah,
well.
I kind of forgot to look
I
again.
shall share with you the third truth. This is the story, the true untold story, of the Great Plague. The first deaths were in the eastern reaches of Eternia, in a sleepy border village. The mourners grieved for their loved ones, their wails echoing through the mountains. Eventually, the cries faded away, and a stillness settled over the land. From the depths of time it had found us. The world we feared most had become reality. As death lay heavy on the land, a young priest named Brave petitioned his elders. He sought to use the power of the crystals to treat the sick, but his petition was denied. Instead, the church sealed off the high roads. It cut off the border villages, leaving countless people to suffer and die. Angered at the church for forsaking the village of his birth, Brave resigned from the priesthood. He did not, however, abandon his duty. First, he saw to it that his friend Norzen of the Office of Medicine was given full authority to investigate the origins of the plague. He planted Confederates in key positions, building a network that would allow him to monitor the inner workings of the church. In time, the plague released its grip on the world, though not because a cure had been found. It simply had no more victims to claim. Until, that is, the coming of the second pandemic. A second wave of terror swept over the world. A new strain of the plague emerged, threatening to complete the extinction begun by the first. Thus began a long battle which pitted Norzen and his researchers against the deadliest disease the realm had ever known. Their work was relentless. Many researchers and their families sacrificed their lives to the cause. Unwilling to put his men at risk, Norzen took to testing new treatments on his own body, losing one of his 5 senses in the process. Then, just before she herself succumbed, one researcher discovered a feline immunity that promised to neutralize the disease. She was able to transfer the antibodies to her daughter, a young girl named Minette. So it was that a vaccine was formulated that would bring the second pandemic to an end. The whole story is faithfully recorded here, in Greed's log.
Why would he
As
write
the
down
people
that part,
came to
though?
learn of the terrible crimes committed by the
Didn't sound
church,
like he cared
its
that much.
authority began to crumble. In desperate hope of regaining the faith of the people, the church issued a proclamation. It would attempt the grand ritual. It was this, more than anything, that spurred Brave the Templar to action. These events too are recorded in your father's log. Have you the courage to press on in search of the truth? Then you know where to find us.
Okay, let's see. The next floor. Please kind of let it, like, cool it with the random encounters. Alright, so this is the 5th floor. I want to say there's 6 floors, but I can't remember exactly from the last game. God, that was annoying. At least I got a level up on Adia and a level up on the Guardian out of that. I need a heal. Okay, moving on. We're gonna have to start running from the battles again. It's hard to get away from the Magnus Bat things, but it's like, ooh, cool elixir, I needed that. It's equally hard to fight them, since they just have this thing for confusing you, and I don't know, I kind of feel like there should be some built-in game rule against having your entire party confused for like 3 turns. This is a remedy, appropriately enough. There's one more. Thank you. Ooh, this is gonna be hidden, because I don't see a chest. Alright, let's go look for hidden items then. It has to be down here somewhere. As far as I know. Please? Probably not on the stairs. Yes, no random encounters, that's good. Escaped on the first try that turn, that was nice. No? Maybe in this wall? I doubt it's on the back wall. Come on, game. We know you like to hide stuff in windows. Is it in the window? The Dia went down. This window? Alright, I'm gonna cut away until I find it, or don't find it, whichever the case may be. Alright, I'm gonna have to start using teleport stones to escape from battles, I swear. I did not find anything. So it's either really well hidden— oh, wait a minute, there's one more place where I have not looked yet. I suddenly like getting into random encounters against Cerebrus because they're easier to escape from. And alright, so I guess that one place, I've investigated it now, and there's nothing. There's nothing here, though. There's a lot of, like, table and desk and stuff. That's not anything. Before I go and talk to this next painting, seriously, where can I find— it's not in the new items. Can I just not read the readings at all? Or unless they're in the journal. Let's look in here. Miscellany. Oh, Griegs, here they are. Okay. Well, that's a lot of words. Yeah, okay, so I didn't think it was going to be quite that much reading. I don't think I'm going to actually check that. Alright, next.
Must you always keep us waiting so?
You're the one who told me to read the
But
notes, sort of.
the 4th truth awaits you. We shall tell you of the trials of the White Lion. The Templar Braves uprising took control of the capital of Eternia and the Temple of Earth, seat of the Church's power. The Church, having lost its ability to govern, eyes now turn to its military might, the disbanding of the Crystal Guard. Curiously enough, this order came from within, Greed Geneolgia, of one of the high houses of the Three Cavaliers. His motives were self-serving. Greed sought to protect his family and closest allies at the expense of all others. Houses Geneolgia and Camlin of the Disbander faction launched an attack on those who sought to keep the Crystal Guard intact. These opponents were led by 2 powerful houses that remained loyal to the order that Greed had begun to destroy. The 2 houses had in their service a swordsman, Jerome Balestra, whose skills were famed throughout the land. Balestra fought back bravely against the warriors of houses Geneolgia and Camlin. Almost single-handedly, he fended off waves of opponents, but in the end, he was just one man. Balestra's brave efforts were in vain. Gates were breached, castles and manors put to the torch. With his dying breaths, Balestra entrusted his boy Jan to the care of his loyal squire, a man by the name of Angard. At the same time, a young man named Nikolai, who had been tasked with leading one wing of the attack, gazed upon the hellish scene. Though he had only been following orders, he was haunted by guilt for what he had done. Though the once proud Crystal Guard was now but a name, Nikolai continued to serve, and serve proudly. He petitioned the church leaders for its revival, recruiting Jan and other comrades to his cause. Was it all to atone for that day? But that is a story for another time. Now, we return to the tale of the White Lion. The Geneolgia and Camlin clans defeated their foes one by one, growing their power through bribes paid for with plundered gold. But disbanding the Crystal Guard had unforeseen and tragic consequences in the neighboring regions of Eternia. Unemployed soldiers turned to banditry, pillaging the villages that had survived the plague. Concerned that public order was breaking down, houses Geneolgia and Camlin formed their own private armies to put down the bandits. Their armies grew mightier and mightier. Among those promoted through the ranks were men who claimed to have destroyed the home of the witch that had caused the Great Plague. How many villages were razed to the ground to restore the illusion of peace? One tragedy giving rise to the next, a never-ending spiral of death and destruction, and at the root of it, one man's ambition. Jan, Nikolai, Bella, so much pain, so much suffering. So much sacrificed for the glory and might of House Geneolgia.
This can't be true.
Stay strong, you. You had nothing to do with any of this. But in the end, wealth and power could not buy immortality. The ambitious man, the foolish man, died of a common illness. So ends the story of greed Geneolgia. Oh, how he entertained us so. But you do not look so well. Mayhap the truth has taken its toll? Then I would advise you go no further.
But I want the Conjurer
Farewell,
asterisk.
my Minister of the Right. It has been so very delightful.
Alright, so I actually thought we were going to get into battle there, and then I remembered that we have not seen the Adventurer's hat yet. Thank you for getting away that time. Up these stairs. One last floor. Oh, wait, before I do that. There are windows down here. Can I run through any of these windows? No? Come on, where's that one secret area? I haven't found it yet. This is driving me mad. Alright, well, maybe someday if I beat the boss here and can come back and turn random encounters off, I'll do that. Anyway, the path forks again. Okay, good. I got lucky and guessed the right one this time. That's a Turbo Ether. 150 MP, which is really not a lot at this point in the game, because I want to say the Bishop in you has almost 600 MP at maximum now, so you need almost 4 of them to fill up completely.